Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, TransparentTradeSolutions.com on a Tuesday. This is last day of March 31st. We have, a strong rally underway. Let's get right into the charts. I'm going to have a class coming up. Make sure you sign up for that. Let's get right into the charts. So, we've had some pretty oversold conditions. Let's start with we're going to start with the S&P. And obviously the question for everybody is, are we pretty much out of the woods here? Or is this, it's still obviously still a lot remains to be seen. In fact, this rally that we're witnessing right now, again, I'm doing this right at noon Pacific, is putting the S&P right at the supply zone, which looks like it's going to probably blow through that. The next level is going to be at 68.82, this resistance level, which is likely going to hit coming up here fairly soon. Keep in mind that the trend followers are still tracking this. And so I think until we get above 6,700 and above the 200-day moving average, many of the trend following systems will be selling the rallies. And until that changes, that's probably, this is the short term. Long term, the bulls will make the case that, this is still, looking at a weekly chart of the S&P, the bulls will obviously make the case that this is still a bullish trend. And no question about it. I still think it is. Markets do go up over time, S&P in particular. So it is kind of a tricky situation, but from a short-term perspective, I still think that rallies are suspect. The bulls, we went from having the bears having the onus of proof to now I think the bulls still have the onus of proof until we, change this current dynamic. We, by the way, here at TCF bought calls on NVIDIA on Friday. So we are long the market right now. Remember, we were long, we were short, we were long puts on the NASDAQ. We took those out way too early, admittedly, but now we're actually long expecting a rally to come up into the 68. NVIDIA should come up to about the 285 level. NASDAQ similarly, obviously been hit the hardest. Uh, uh, Also, let's go back to the S&P real quick. The S&P, incidentally, hit the lows from yesterday, last night. You can see right here, and those actually correspond to the daily levels down here. We've been looking at these at TTS here on a day-to-day basis, so you can see these levels, regardless of all the headlines and everything else. If you, again, the lesson here is if you just focus on the charts and take out all of the noise, you zoom in here. Let me just want to show you real quick here. If you zoom in, we've had this line on here for a while. So you came right down to that. Similarly, the NASDAQ didn't have, what was interesting is even after the sell-off, we still hadn't touched that. We actually finally did touch that yesterday, and now we're headed back up. Now, obviously there's a lot of levels above here. So that's kind of where we're at. Watch this level up here, 24,500. That's where we broke down from. This level here is also interesting today because that happens to be the lows from, I'm sorry, here. This happened to be the lows from the previous Sunday, which broke down, and now we're right back up again. So this is actually a little bit of a supply, which could have the market roll over from here. But if we can punch through that, I think we get back up to 24,540, 25, this resistance level up here. So those are the levels to look at today. With regards to, Bitcoin, that's also interesting. It's holding the 65K level so far. So you can see it's going to be critical that it holds here as well. There could be a retest of 60K. VIX is going to be interesting to see if it can break below 25. I think that'll be very bullish. Rates did hit that resistance that we've been talking about, this 448. If it can close below here, then I think we're headed right back to 4 on rates here. You can see that right to resistance. Dollar also cannot get through 100. That's pulling back. This is also helping gold. I wrote about it a couple of weeks ago. And gold is rallying now as gold is pulling back. And this is interesting because now you've got a supply zone in gold coming up here, which is very similar to the stock market, right around 4,800 and 5K will be the next levels on gold. So again, these are all coming into some pretty decent levels. Oil is now, 100 was the resistance. Now it's support. Very simple, and obviously, still the market can't. I think if we go up to 109 on oil, the market kind of pulls back from here. So you're still not out of the woods until I think oil breaks decisively below 100 and probably gets down to 85, which is the next support level. So I could see oil if today we had what drove the market was news that the Iranians are looking to end the war, and again all this kind of stuff. So until oil, bottom line is until oil breaks 100, you're probably going to see stocks maybe stall out here. That's going to be key. If oil, however, continues to rally back up to 110, then this rally could roll over very quickly. So that is pretty much in summary. Again, a quick reminder, we have a 4-day trading week. Good Friday, markets are closed. Incidentally, we are going to have jobs numbers on Friday, which is really interesting that the market's closed. That will be reflected on Sunday, whatever the data is, if there's going to be any reaction. Clearly, the war is overshadowing all that. So I won't be doing a show on this video on Friday. So I'll see you next week. Obviously, lots of volatility, great opportunities if you stick to just looking at your charts. If you want to sign up for the class, it's going to come up pretty quickly here. And if you have any interest in spending some time in our website, give us a call or give us a private message me or hit the website that's on the link below and leave a message for our support team. Okay. Have a great weekend. Happy Easter, everybody.